Hello everyone, this is Rodney with another Hot Rod special. How is everyone doing? Okay, well, I guess, I will say, it is my prayer that everyone is doing okay, especially in this season. This season is really coming into its own. You know, I expect that there will be an early winter. How many of you would agree with that? Okay. Well, anyway, I always have another story to tell. I always have something on the horizon. Um, and today I want to start out with this thing I wrote some time ago. I call it, or I should say, I gave it a theme. I told my story. I told my story. In this hour, I will start by administering this one clear observation. The observation is simple, and it is simply this: I'm blessed. Now, that might not sound like a whole lot to you. For me, it is a wake-up call. And as you may or may not know, with every blessing, there is not long before you come into a burden dealing with that blessing. It's not far behind, so to speak. What are you saying, preacher? Well, I'm talking about a burden that extends beyond my years, one that extends into the next generation and the generation thereafter, to the third and fourth generation. Now, thinking as I look back over my life, retrospectively, I can say this, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to put it out there. I got over. That's right, you heard it. I got over. And my offspring will get over, as well as my offspring's offspring. That is why I believe generations are the way they are. It is designed that one coming through won't repeat the same patterns of his or her descendants before him or her. One who becomes wiser, yet not in his or her own sight. I'll put this out in the mix since while I'm still dealing with this, or should I say while I'm on this plaintiff. And, you may agree with this, and I know this is right. That some folk, okay, let's put it this way. Many folk, be it friends, family, significant other, someone you're married to, friend, foe, enemy, associate, comrade, confidant, you know your people better than I do. Better yet, did I get to you yet? Well, anyway, let me go on. Here's the deal. They could all congregate together, no matter the circumstances or living arrangement. And think about it. Some of us are based in our home sites, and have this proclivity or have this thinking process that things of this world play a role in it, or that things of this world are the capital of everything. I'll explain that one later. Let me keep going through. I'm looking at it like this. Some of us are based in our own sites, no matter the circumstances or living arrangement. Some of us are based in our own sites that things play a big role in this. Well, here's what I want to put out there. It doesn't. Come on. If you're really truthful with yourself, you know I'm right. Okay? Come on. It doesn't. I've preached this 1,000 times. Happy is what makes you happy, and it's normally related to those things that are in your exterior. Yet happiness is what's in your interior. What you don't need, when you don't need anything else to make you happy. Or, let's put it like this, when you don't need anything else in your exterior to make you happy, you are content in all things. What that is, that's joy. Bona fide, that's joy. Gonna cause some havoc. There are people in your space right now, you can't give them enough because they either lack or have no joy at all. And because a lot of us fought many years to have things, we are content in administering things to all the folk I just mentioned. And we are wasting our energy and have the nerve to call it love. Saying, because I love you, I do these things. You constantly feeding a bottomless pit because of all we have mastered in life. Many of us, if the truth be told, many of us can't conceive the thought of playing a role in the actual deliverance of another person. That's getting thick. Many of us cannot actually play a role in the deliverance of another person. And when I say deliverance, I mean restoration. When I say deliverance, I mean when somebody gets to a point in their life where they're at peace, that a release has come upon them. Because many of us understand and we know if a release comes upon you, a certain peace comes upon you, you come to understand there are a lot of things you don't need. I'm trying to help somebody here. Well, anyway, let me move on. Now, I did say I would comment on some stuff. And maybe I did say that, maybe I didn't. But sometimes, you know, when I read my own writing, sometimes, you know, some stuff in there makes me comment. And it's a little something added on that I was thinking. I may not even been thinking about it when I wrote it. But it's funny how over time stuff comes up, right? Okay, let me go on. But at any rate, we waste a lot of energy doing stuff for people, and we're feeding this bottomless pit, and we're not conceiving, you know, any role in playing any actual deliverance component in their lives. You know, Jesus said it is not the sign of the sun, moon, and stars. It is the sign of the times. And in this time, can I urge you to do something? Put your checkbook away. I know you're so proud of having it and doing the things you can do with it, right? Yet it saves no one. It saves no one. I've learned, folk, truth itself is not a changer. It's a charger. And in order for change to happen, something must be activated. Now, let me go on with this point real quick. Now, what is operated must be an advocate of whatever it is they are promoting. Let me say that again. Whatever is operated must be an advocate of that which is being promoted. Okay, let me help you. Let me help you. Here we go. In other words, you must be the battery, specifically a chargeable battery. Let me get to this. Now, until you get the green light to change something, you are in holding, on standby, in the bubble, setting on your hands, hanging in there, aloft, still on the charger, Because if you come off the charger before the green light, you won't last. And anything you say or do will dull out. Can I ask you a question? Have you ever played a CD on dead batteries? It will either sound like Matrix on crack, or it would just dull out or go out altogether. Truth itself is not something you tell, it is something you live. I'll say that again. Truth itself is not something you tell, it is something you live. Okay? Are y'all receiving me? Are you receiving me? Great. Let me move on down the road here. Now, I said the truth. I spoke about truth. I'm speaking about truth today. But watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I said the truth is not something you tell, it is something you what? Thank you. What you tell is based on reality. Listen, forget about New Year's resolutions or evolution or even revolution. Believe what I've said, what I've experienced. Nothing changes until you do. Nothing changes until you do. I don't care where you are in life. The term "the grass is greener on the other side" is a term that is outdated, to say the least, and wrong as two right shoes, let alone two left shoes. Also, it depends on who's doing the mowing. I ain't saying nothing. I said something right there. Many of us have lived our lives, done many things, yet played no actual role in saving anyone. If living and doing was all there was to do, everybody would be delivered. So let me ask this one fatal question. One fatal question. How does God read this? Well, if I have to go in accordance with His Word, by what you do only, I can't touch that. As you acknowledge to Him how it affects you, or that you do it, that He gets the glory. I mean, think about it. Think about it like this. Is it just about you and your stuff, or is it about God's glory? I'll let you work on that. Let you work on that. Well, let me finish this out, and then I'm going to be done with you. The question was, how does God read things? Well, it's very simple. God reads things from the heart. From the heart. See, you can do all kinds of things. You can talk all kinds of talk. You can be good. You can be this. You can be wonderful. People can flock to you. Everything can be wonderful in your life. But guess what? Until God gets the glory, you are a blown up story. Alright? You're a blown up story at best, if not less than that. You see what I'm saying? Because, see, a lot of us are so bent on us getting credit, getting fulfilled, getting this and getting that. And then we opt God out of it altogether by simply acknowledging Him in the process. God says, I don't want you to just acknowledge me. My name deserves the glory. Because anything and everything you were able to do, anything you were able to say, anything you were able to muster up, anything that the fact that you were able to breathe that morning, that day, throughout that day, to do the things you've done and say the things you've done was because God allowed you to. And you mean to tell me you're going to tell the whole world your story is what it's all about? Let me help you. Your story doesn't even make up for a hair of what God has done for you in a twilight. I wish I could tell it all, but I don't have time to tell it all because my time is about almost done. What makes me bring this story up on the surface? Well, like I said, there's an inner portion I want to deal with. Because lately I've been dealing with this. I've been watching and I've discovered how people have been behaving. I've discovered that a lot of people today are looking for or surrounding themselves around people who seem to have it together. Am I saying something right there that's untrue? No. I'm saying something that is the truth. A lot of folk, especially women today, if you work a job and you make some kind of money and you live somewhere, you have some place to stay, and you may or may not drive a car, I don't know, but you got clothes on your back. According to that woman, you're a scrub. You don't have much going on. You're nobody that she wants to even spend her time with or be around. But yet somebody comes along and they drive the Benz or the Cadillac and all that kind of stuff, have a house on the hill. They all for. But they ain't for. Well, let me tell you what I've realized about that. They're not for him. They're about the things. Why would anybody want to be with somebody and the only thing that person is all about is about what you have, what you got, how much money you got, That old song back in the day, that old song that said, a scrub can't get no love from me. Remember that song back in the day? I don't even remember who wrote the doggone song. Whoever it was stupid. Really. I mean, a scrub. I mean, define a scrub. Okay? I mean, a scrub is somebody who sits back and dreams up stuff, never goes out to do anything. They don't have anything. They don't do anything. They don't intend to have anything. Don't want to do anything. They just sit back and drum it up, dream it up in their minds, and go out on the street corner and maybe even be out there, trying to, stiff somebody, do something messed up, try to make some kind of money, panhandle, whatever. That's a scrub. But a real person who's out there doing something, and he may not be making a lot of money, but that person's not a scrub because that person's out there doing something every day to make better of his life on a daily basis, that he may grow and become something in this life, And what gets me, a lot of women who are talking that talk are women who don't have anything. There's a lot of women out here who don't have nothing going and want to hook up with somebody who got a whole lot going. They want to overlook somebody who is making like what they're making, and move on to somebody who's, making tons more than they're making and you making and anybody else is making. But then they want to look at you and look down at you and like you some kind of nothing, like you no good to nothing or anybody. And that stuff is troubling. Because, it troubles me that we have a lot of women in the world like that. But that's okay. I can deal with it. Because I know I'm somebody. I know that I have a lot to offer. In spite of my situation, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have a ton of money. But by golly, I can tell you this, I have a ton of character. I have a ton of character. I have a decent job. I live somewhere. I go out and have fun when I want to have fun. I got a decent savings. I ain't fretting nothing. I feel good about me. Matter of fact, I feel grand about me. I walk in joy on a daily basis. What is it that anybody can do about that? Not a doggone thing. Not a thing. Not a thing. You know what I'm saying? And this is to some men out there. Some men who may be not doing as well as you would like to be doing right now. And you got some people around you who are telling you you're this scrub and you're no good. pay them people no mind. You know, like I said, most of the ones who are saying that don't have nothing much going their daggone self. They don't, I mean, you know, it's bad for people to put you down, and they're probably doing worse than you. It's ridiculous. But that's life. Life is full of a lot of crap. You know, people are a lot of crap. You know what I mean? It ain't just black folk, white folk, you know, Hispanic. There's some chicos that I don't like out there either. You know? So it ain't just about, you know, the color of anybody's skin. There's a whole lot of folk out there that ain't right. And there's going to be a whole lot more out there that ain't right in this coming season and all the stuff that you know, that is happening in our world today. And, you know, you're still going to have little sluts chasing after dollars. You know, the bigger dollar wins. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but you're going to also have some knuckle-headed men out there who don't want to do nothing with their lives. It's a given. But let me help you. It ain't over with yet, right? And I heard the whole saying, it ain't over with until the fat lady sings. Well, the lady's been singing for years. The only question is a whole lot of folk ain't got their ears open. This is Rodney with a Hot Rod Special. I'm out. You guys have a grand of a life and have a grand of a day. I'll see you next week. Hallelujah.